welcome you back to Ventura College for the 20th Annual Tournament of Champions here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Jeff Stoynoff, Mike Cepeda with you, and we move on to semifinal number 2, Michael, and that means the host school, Ventura College. And if I was reading over your shoulder correctly, Ventura dropped their opener this season, but they've won 3 in a row, and obviously, given the depth of the field here, this is a big early test for them. And a tournament that no doubt they'd like to win, looking forward to tomorrow night if they possibly can. Not just to hold court here at home, but against such a tough field. And it starts here tonight with College of the Canyons.
Well, if you remember last year, it was Mount Sac who dispatched Ventura up at Las Positas in the state championships. And so do we, and I'm sure a lot of Ventura remembers as well. And obviously that's a rivalry that dates back quite some years. Yeah,
absolutely. Meanwhile, for College of the Canyons, they got a tough assignment here. They took care of business last night, an impressive win in their opener here, but it gets a lot tougher tonight. What do they need to do? What do you need to do against a Ned Mercetic coach team here in Ventura College?
You have to shoot it hot.
Yeah.
You got to be hot, and you have very little margin for error when you're playing such a well-coached team. You know, Ventura just seems to be very balanced in and out every year. They do it from outside, they do it from inside. And really the player this year that you have to watch is Jasmine Martin. In speaking with Coach Hester earlier today, she has an opportunity to be one of the top 3 players in the state of California. And if she can play up to her potential, you can expect a lot of big things here for Ventura College in 2017 and 18. Yeah,
filling some big shoes on a very talented team last year. But no big surprise to see that the Pirates are reloaded. So for the Pirates, a chance to move into the finals. Mount Sac awaits after their victory earlier against, well, in our first game tonight, holding off San Joaquin Delta. And we got final spot number 2 here to fill with Ventura College, the host team, taking on College of the Canyons.
Yeah, this is a battle of Western State Conference rivals. They are in different divisions in the Western State Conference, but they are in the Western State Conference nonetheless. So it's going to be an interesting battle here, a good litmus configuration test early on for both teams. But expect Ventura to hold serve here at home, and they have an opportunity to make a statement here going into a potential rematch of last year's semifinal in the state with Mount Sac.
Yeah, Ventura College hoping to say these are good, not these are bad. These are good. That's a reference, but that's what we do. Movie references. We will return shortly.
Won't be our last tonight. That's
for the
sure.
Opening tip. No, it will not. Ventura College, the host school, taking on College of the Canyons here in the 20th Annual Tournament of Champions here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Stick around.
Matt. Remember to spread the word, everybody. www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. You can catch this game live. You can also catch us on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. Subscribe to the channel. You will be updated of all the games that are broadcast this season. Minutes away from the tip-off, Canyons and Ventura here from the Ventura College Tournament of Champions. Moments away here from tip-off. Semifinal number 2 of the evening. College of the Canyons, the Cougars, and the Ventura College Pirates. Mike Zapata, Jeff Stoynoff with you on tonight's coverage on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Starting for College of the Canyons, it'll be CeCe O'Brien, number 5, number 14, Dana Tanaka, number 24, Morgan Bizel, number 32, Jeanette Cruz, and number 43, Kalana Anemer. For the home team Pirates, it'll be number 1, Davina Del Castillo, number 5, Nikki Puga, number 11, Kylie Vint, number 23, Jasmine Martin, number 24, Celeste Salazar. Jeffrey, some familiar returners. Davina Del Castillo, really a key cog in last year's title run that ultimately fell short.
And Mike, she's got to be the glue. With 4 new starters joining her, she's got to do every bit of what she did last year and maybe even a little more.
The Pirates win the tip. Salazar with it on the far side. Martin up top. They call her Jazz, and Jazz 20 yesterday in the win that punched the ticket to the semifinal here tonight for Ventura. Martin with it near side. Enters into Vint. Vint will fire from the elbow. That's off the mark. Del Castillo, nearly an over-the-back call. It's rebounded by Bizel. We're back the other way for the Cougars. Cougars will fire from deep. This is CeCe O'Brien. She's off the mark. Davina Del Castillo with the rebound, and she throws it right back to the Cougars. Tanaka from 3. That's no good. Rebound snatched down by Davina Del Castillo. And Puga right to a wide open Martin. Martin up and under, lays it in over the outstretched hands of Kalana Anemer.
And it's a good job by Martin running the floor, getting ahead of her man, and ends up with the good look.
Near side, this is Bizel. Bizel enters in. Cruz kicks out, wide open 3 on the money. Dana Tanaka. So Canyons with an early 3-2 lead.
Good job inside out, working it down low into the post, and then back out to Tanaka.
Cruz with a perfect pass on the money. It really allowed Tanaka to get into her shooting form. Salazar looking to enter into Vint. Vint, turnaround jumper, that's off the mark. Rebound fought for, won by Martin, tapped to her by Vint. Salazar will foul from deep, try to answer. Del Castillo tries to put it back, no good. Cruz with a rebound. Tanaka back the other way for the Canyons. College of the Canyons streaking up the court, and that's just great defense. It's going to go off of Jazz Martin and out of bounds. It'll stay here with the Cougars. Did not hit the rim, so 23 remaining on the shot clock for College of the Canyons. They inbound to Cruz. Cruz with it at the elbow, gives back. This is O'Brien. O'Brien, a native of Nanakuli, Hawaii. Bizel over to Cruz. Cruz far side. Good motion here. Good spacing for the Cougars. Wide open shot for Anemer. She's off the mark just a little long. Del Castillo already with her 3rd rebound. 2 minutes in. Puga. Back to Salazar. Salazar with some range. Saw her get hot a couple times last year. Martin out of the weave from Davina Del Castillo. This is going to be a foul. I think this is going to go against Anemer. Now check that, Cruz. And that is a tough guard for Jeanette Cruz. Trying to stay with the swift feet of Jasmine Martin. Talitha Draper will check into the ball game for the first time tonight. Martin will come off.
Along with Alyssa Root. So Ned Mercedes not wasting a lot of time, going to his bench.
Has some high-low action here. Del Castillo, a little bit too much mustard on that one. Goes out of bounds off of the hands of Draper. It'll go back to the Cougars.
Yeah, I think Davina needs to take a little something off of that pass. A little more air under, a little more of a lob. And that's one of your favorite things to talk about, Michael. I think with good reason. The spacing not exactly perfect on that one either. A little too close to each other.
Agreed. And Draper has to do a better job of fighting for position down low. Tanaka from 3 again. Her second one, no, it's long, but Cruz with a rebound on the offensive boards. Puts it back up and in. She traveled? Yes, she did. Dragged the pivot foot. Pretty good defense there by Davina.
Well, gives up the offensive rebound, but able to get the turnover.
7:08 remaining here in the opening quarter. Semifinal number 2 on the day of the Tournament of Champions 20th Annual Tournament. That's a great feed from Salazar inside to Draper.
They're working the pick and roll on that right side, and they've been able to get the switch on Tanaka both times, and that time the Pirates able to convert.
Well coached, well executed, and on the other end, Anemer answers.
Good seal off by Anemer.
Quickly back the other way are the Pirates. Draper in the high post, looking to free up. That looks like Puga. Puga off to Salazar. Salazar driving the lane. Good defense. Good feet from Tanaka. Salazar has to bring it back out. 13 on the shot clock. Salazar looking for Puga. Cutting to the basket. Not there. Off to Del Castillo. In the corner, this is Root. Root looking inside for Draper. 2 on the shot clock. This is a terrific defensive possession for the Cougars. It'll go back the other way to Canyons.
And Nemmer with a great job stepping up to challenge that shot. Gets the block and then able to get it off of Root.
Still on the floor. And an Emmer still down. Looks like she maybe lost a contact.
Yeah, I think it's
lens.
a contact there. Well, I don't know how you play basketball with contacts.
It's tough.
Pitching
Coach Ned Mercedes on camera right now in search of win number 800 for his career. A very big number.
I guess nobody goes with the goggles anymore, Mike.
The Kareem goggles?
Is there another kind?
So Emmer back into the ball game. Contact lens accounted for. Cruz at the high post. Puts it on the ground. Floater up. No good. It's short. Looked like that might have been blocked by Del Castillo. And Emmer on the offensive board. Steal from Draper. Draper's going to lead the break. Still on it. She'll go all the way to the basket, and she'll be fouled by Tanaka. Shot won't count. I don't know if they'll give her a continuation. I think this is going to be on the baseline.
Pretty good ball handling. And Draper going coast to coast here.
Not bad there from Draper. I thought Draper did a really good job of keeping it. She's going to be awarded 2 free throws.
And nobody stopped the ball, but in that specific situation, who would at that point?
5:44 remaining here in the opening quarter. Canyons with a 5-4 lead on top of the Ventura College Pirates. You can watch this game live on our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. Also on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. We were broadcasting live also on the VC Sports Network.
Do you think any coach in the history of the NBA ever really complained when Charles Barkley was leading the break that nobody stopped the ball?
No, let him just stop the ball.
You're going to lose all credibility as a coach when you tell a guy to step in front. Somebody stop the ball.
1 of 2 good at the free throw line for Draper. Knotted up at 5-all, 5:37 to go. Tanaka with the ball for the Cougars, working right to left. Gets a screen from Emmer. Nothing there. It's pretty good defense there from Puga. Tanaka stepping back. Omi with a switch, looking inside, and Emmer is fouled going up with it. Del Castillo, that'll be her first.
And I really like the way that Emmer caught and turned and went immediately to her move. Got herself to the line. Aggressive.
Wasted very little time. First free throw up and good from Emmer. Second free throw up and good. So 7-5. Canyons with an early lead. Jasmine Martin brings it up. Crossover dribble into the lane. That's a nifty looking shot from Jazz Martin.
Good body control. Leaning to her left and gets the finish.
Well, you see the talent on full display there. Crossover dribble, good finish in traffic over 2 defenders. Bizel thought about it from 3, instead kicks it back out. O'Brien to Tanaka. Tanaka will reset the offense. Trying to enter it to Cruz at the high post, and Emmer instead will reverse it. Far side of O'Brien. That's a hot pass. It's going to go out of bounds off of Bizel.
Yeah, they're trying to curl Bizel off of a screen there. And the pass just offline.
Vint back into the ball game. She'll come on for Castillo, who just picked up her first foul. Omi will bring it into Puga.
Omi, one of the returners, along with Salazar, Avery Brunk.
Nikki Puga from Camarillo, local product. Her high school team made a CIF run last season. Vint, little dream shake, turnaround jumper, no good, well off the mark. Bizel with a rebound, off to O'Brien. Oh, nice feed from O'Brien. Tanaka from 3 from Cruz. Her second, no. Martin with a rebound, she'll bring it up. Jazz Martin up ahead of Celeste Salazar. takes it, fires a three. That one's long. Rebounded on the weak side from Puga. She'll reverse it back. Here's Martin. Back to Salazar. Well, if not at first, if at first you don't succeed, try it again. Salazar from three. Pirates now with a 10-7 lead. 3:54 to go in the first quarter. You're watching 20th annual Ventura College Tournament of Champions, sponsored by the Kiwanis Club. Ten to 7, 3:54 remaining out of the timeout. Cougars in blue will bring the ball up. This is Tanaka. She has a three earlier. Bazell will try from long distance. That one's long, rebounded by Jazz Martin. Jazz is going to bring it up. She'll turn on the afterburners. Up the other way, loses it going up, but it's tapped out of her hands by Anemer. It'll stay here with the Pirates. Substitutions here for Ventura. See Victoria Maciel. Maciel with it. Check that. Elenia Garcia. Garcia with the ball. She's fouled going up with it by O'Brien. So Garcia will go to the line, freshman out of Santa Clarita from Canyon High School.
That's one of those situations where O'Brien defensively, you'd almost really prefer that she challenged Garcia to really make this runner.
Yeah.
And just try to position herself between Garcia and the basket and make Garcia make a tough shot. She kind of bails her out a little bit there with a foul. Of course, easier said than done in the moment.
Garcia rebound by Del Castillo, so they'll get another crack at it, will the Pirates. Garcia hits on one of two. Draper with the left hand, that's no good, but she's fouled. I think that's a case where if the ball doesn't go in, you're going to be awarded the foul. If it does go in, play on.
Yeah, it's a very late whistle on Anemer after some contact.
Yeah, Coach Herrick, not a big fan of the call, but I think the correct call. There was a lot of contact there. Are they going to call it on the ground? Wow. Well, either way, the possession will stay here with the Pirates. Garcia has it out front. Watch her range from three. She does have some range. How about Jazz Martin will fire from deep. That's no good. Del Castillo working for the rebound. It goes out of bounds off of Davina. Back to the Cougars with possession.
Yeah, good job by Bazell battling Del Castillo for that rebound.
Tanaka going to bring it up. Oh, pretty good back and forth early on here, Jeffrey. Both teams kind of feeling each other out. Pirates have just made more shots. And Emmer reverses it near side, wide open. Tanaka, her second triple. Yes.
Well, that's a great job. Tanaka sets a screen there and then fades to the corner for that three.
You can't lose Garcia in transition. That runner up, no good. Cruz taps it out to Tanaka. Tanaka behind the back dribble, stolen by Garcia. Momentarily, this is going to be a foul. I want to say it's going to go against Garcia. Looks like she was pushing off on Tanaka trying to get back to the basketball, or was Tanaka holding Garcia?
Looks like they're going to give this one to Canyon, so go against Garcia.
Garcia.
You were right on your first thought there, Michael.
2:34 remaining in the opening quarter. 11-10, the Pirates with a 1-point lead after the three from Tanaka. Her second. Tanaka has 6 points. Well, again, notes from the conversation earlier today with Coach Hester. This is a well-coached team. Coach Greg Herrick coaches them up. It's not a gimme, especially early on in the season. Tanaka with it far side. Holding, gives off to O'Brien. O'Brien on the dribble, working against Root. They enter inside to Anemmer. Back out. Good inside-out action. And O'Brien off the mark. Del Castillo will tap it to herself, but right to Anemmer, trying to save it from going out of bounds. Martin with a big block. Stay here.
Well, Anemmer had Bazell down low, open for a moment, but elected to go to the dribble drive, and Martin able to get up and swat that one away.
Avery Brunk will check into the ball game. A returner from last year's squad. Under 2 to go in the opening quarter. Bazell turns and faces, gives off to Cruz. Cruz, switch her pivot foot, might have been a travel. Off to O'Brien. O'Brien inside to Anemmer. Working on Draper, gets around her. Right-handed scoop shot is good. Lead back to College of the Canyons here. Salazar, give it off to Del Castillo. Davina, a lot of contact from Bazell, and she'll be awarded with 2 shots.
And Del Castillo's on the drive there, but she's about 10 feet outside on the baseline. And again, I think the Pirates will take the foul in that situation. Even better for Ventura as it sends Del Castillo to the line.
She knots it up at 12 all.
I think, Mike, on both sides, one thing I'm noticing here early in this game is not enough contesting of low post position. Both Einmer for College of the Canyons and Talitha Draper, as well as Kylie Vint, have all established very good position down low, and it's really freeing up the offense for both teams.
Yep.
I think you have to fight harder to not give up that low post position because both teams are using it to good effect.
Del Castillo will break the 12-all tie, 13-12. Pirates by the slimmest of margins. Oriana is checked into the ball game for College of the Canyons, along with Mary Rose Elias. Elias on the dribble, kicks it back out, wide open Tanaka. Hat trick from triple, no. Brunk with a rebound. We'll give it off. Under a minute to go in the opening quarter. This is Puga. Puga will bring it up. Crossover dribble, working on Tanaka. Spin back into the middle. That one well off the mark.
And Draper had
by Elias.
Fantastic position down low again, but they didn't get her the ball.
Del Castillo, look at the energy and look at the effort. Nearly throws it away. Martin now with the ball. 41 seconds on the game clock, about a 17-second differential.
Martin's got Tanaka there, and she's got to take advantage.
Martin with a turnover as they whistle her for a carry.
I think if you're Jazz Martin in those types of situations, you need to read who's defending you. But there she turned it over before she really got a chance.
Yeah. Pirates remain with a 1-point lead. 6-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock, and Emmer with it on the far side. Gives it up top. Elias drives the lane, kicks it back out. Wide open, Oriana. Air ball. Go out of bounds, it'll go back to the Pirates. Shot clock turned off.
You know, Mike, it's a very small backcourt for College of the Canyons, and early in this game, the Pirates were pretty effective getting some switches on those small guards and getting some good shots down low. I'd like to see them go back to that.
Puga to the rack, crossover dribble, left-handed layup, no good. Rebound, fought for and won by Omi, but there's a foul on an Emmer. Vint was pushed off on. She'll have 2 shots coming her way.
Second foul, meanwhile, on Eimer.
First free throw up and good. And Emmer will come off. Second free throw also good. So Vint hits on both, gets it out to a 15-12 lead. We'll have a foul in the backcourt. Ventura had a few to give. Not a terrible foul from Avery Brunk.
Yeah, 5.1. You make them reset here. Ned Merced's going to make a quick defensive change. Get Larissa Russell into the game. Get Jazz Martin out so she doesn't pick up a foul late in the first quarter.
Brunk with another foul.
2.5.
These are fouls by design. Don't really allow College of the Kings to really get into anything set up.
It is Brunk's second foul.
They cannot give up any more as they will be in the penalty. 14 foul. And if you can hear it on the mic, Ned Mercedes yelling out no foul. And able to get up a wide open shot was Marios Elias, but she's off the mark. So we'll go into the second quarter, 15-12. The Pirates with a 3-point lead. You are watching the 20th annual Ventura College Tournament of Champions, live from Ventura College, sponsored by the Kiwanis Club. We start the second quarter. 15-12. Contested shot in the middle. Rebound fought for and won by the Pirates. They're off to the races the other way. Del Castillo has it, enters in at the high post. Nice move by Martin. She's fouled by Cruz. Martin connects on the first. It's her 5th point. Hits on the second. So Jazz Martin with 6 points, 6 of the 17 for the Pirates. 9:25 to go in the second quarter. Elias enters into Cruz. Cruz has it blocked by Vint. Back the other way we go for the Pirates. Martin in transition. Martin crossover dribble to her left. We saw it earlier. No good. Vint on offensive rebound. She's fouled going up with it. They're going to whistle Cali South. And Vint doing a pretty good job on the offensive board. So Vint will go to the line shooting 2. She has 2 points tonight. First free throw up, no good. We have a correction on the pronunciation of Kalana Einmar, number 43, who now checks into the ball game for the Cougars. Special thanks, of course, to Jesse Munoz getting back to me. There was some miscommunication on that. Second free throw up and good by Vint. She'll be sub for by Talitha Draper. Congratulations to College of the Canyons, number 3. COC Women's Volleyball, a winner over El Camino, 3-0. They will advance to the state championship tournament. We will have coverage of that for you on Saturday and Sunday of next week. Puga with a near steal. Fire from deep is Sanchez. Sanchez off the mark. Divina Del Castillo with the rebound. Off the other way, here's Celeste Salazar. Martin, crossover dribble. Right-handed layup, no good. It's going to be an offensive foul on Jazz Martin. And that's one where Martin needs to pull up, maybe jump stop. Got a wide open 12-footer. Instead, she goes into the teeth of the defense. The teeth waiting right there, like bowling ball pins. And it's a charge. O'Brien will bring it up. Gives off to Sanchez. Einmar. Off to Elias. Elias picks up her dribble. Gives it up back to Sanchez. Sanchez is going to fire again from deep, and that one an air ball. We'll go back to the Pirates. Sanchez quickly 0 for 2 from downtown. Einmar for College of the Canyons with 6 points so far. Half of the points on the board for the Cougars. Puga inside, left-hander, no good. Draper right there on the rebound. That one no good on the putback. Puga with a rebound. Pirates will reset. Del Castillo down the lane. This is going to be a foul on Draper. Draper shifting the hips a little bit out of the path, and she will be subbed in for by Melissa Omi. See, that is the first foul on Talitha Draper. Einmar gives off O'Brien. Here's Sanchez. Sanchez looking inside. 3 in the key, and this is going to be whistled against Callie South, and South has to get out of there. Spacing just not there right now for the Cougars. Einmar had terrific position down low. But it's a turnover and a costly one. That could have been 2. Possibly a 3-point play for the Cougars. Instead, it goes back to the Pirates. 7:40 to go in quarter number 2. Del Castillo looking for Martin on the handoff. Terrific move inside, and Martin gets that one to go. Jazz Martin with some nifty footwork. Sanchez enters inside to Einmar. Einmar up and good on Omi. And Einmar looking for her 9th point on the free throw. Draper heads to the scorer's table. She will come back into the ball game after a quick discussion with Coach Robin Hester. Already the 3rd team foul in the second quarter for the Pirates. 7:23 remaining in the second quarter. Einmar is off on the and one opportunity. So the score remains 20-14. Del Castillo at the top. Will drive the lane, floater up, no good, and it's going to be a charge on Davina Del Castillo. Jump stop. That's one in the film room where you'll see Coach Mercedes pause the video and say jump stop easily. Bazell looking to drive there. Celeste Salazar, terrific defense, moving her feet, forces the ball back out. Callie South off the mark, and we are going to have a whistle and a foul called on Callie South. That will be the 3rd team foul on the Cougars. Self 2nd, and Cruz goes to the scorer's table for College of the Canyons, and Self will likely come off. Cruz has done a fantastic job early on facilitating out of the high post and the low post. She found Tanaka for a wide open 3 earlier in the ballgame. Tanaka with a couple triples to her credit. Salazar gives off to Puga. Puga from long range. It's a long 2. It's long. Rebounded by Cruz. Cruz off to O'Brien. O'Brien in transition. No numbers for College of the Canyons. Not going to matter to Sanchez. She'll fire from deep and hit. So Giselle Sanchez, we'll watch her from deep. Draper inside. She's going to have to get rid of it. She's 3 in the key. Well, Draper battling down low, but she'll have to be a little bit more decisive in what she wants to do. 6:19 remaining here in the second quarter. Pirates with a 3-point lead, 20-17. O'Brien fires from deep. Off the backboard, no good. Martin up high for the rebound on top of Einmar. Celeste Salazar leaks out from 3. Yes! Just like that, back to a 6-point advantage for the Pirates. O'Brien will bring it up quickly to Sanchez, back to O'Brien. Bizel near side. Cougars will reset the offense up top. Einmar with it on the far wing. Reverses to Bizel. Sanchez from 3 again, that's long. Rebounded by Melissa Omi. Omi off to Puga. Puga finds Celeste Salazar from 3. Can't lose her in transition. Back-to-back triples? No. Draper fighting for an offensive rebound to go off of her extended hand. Out of bounds, back to the Cougars. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoyanoff with you on tonight's coverage. Game 2 of the day. Game 1 saw Mount Sac advance to tomorrow's final with a win over San Joaquin Delta. Mount Sac, the 2-time defending state champ here in the 3C2A. We will have coverage of the third-place game and the championship game tomorrow at 2 and 4 o'clock, respectively. Bizel from deep. That's no good. Long rebound. Ricochets out to Tanaka. Tanaka with a fresh clock. Has it looking inside for Bizel. Salazar late to defend, and it's a foul on Celeste Salazar. And Morgan Bizel will go to the line.
Good feed by Tanaka.
Beautiful feed. Her post entry on that play looked as good as her shot. First free throw up and good from Bizel. Second free throw, no good. Tapped out of it. Well, it's going to go out of bounds off of Elena Garcia.
That's a risky play by Einmar, playing with 2 fouls, but she reaches in there and able to poke that one away, and Garcia loses it.
Tanaka saves that one from going into the backcourt, gives off to Sanchez. Sanchez is a shooter. She is 1 from 3 from downtown. Tanaka has a couple triples. And to keep a hot hand up on her, entry pass in Einmar, stolen.
That's great help by both Root and Omi on the mismatch.
Quickly back the other way. This is Puga. Puga looking for a baseline runner. Garcia from 3 off the backboard. Omi flies in for the rebound. Check that, 4th-team foul on the Cougars. Baseline out of bounds to the Pirates.
You got to really like the energy that Melissa Omi is bringing off the bench.
How about the instincts here? She just flies past Bizel, wins a rebound, and another possession here for the Pirates. Puga from 3. No. Rebounded by Root. Let's give off to Vint. Vint is fouled going up with it. Can't get it to go, but she'll have 2 shots coming her way. Well, the activity on the offensive boards was a very common theme in Game 1, especially on the Mount Sac side, and we see it here with Ventura. As we see Alyssa Root and Vint at the free throw line. Alyssa was our camera operator last year as she gray-shirted a year ago.
Good to see her moving on from camera work and getting on the floor.
He throws up and good from Kylie Vint. 25-18, the lead out to 7 for the Pirates. Tanaka, Sanchez, Bizel from 3. That's good. That's just too easy.
Off the screen from Cruz. And Bizel with room and knocks it down.
That's just terrific ball movement as we see on the replay. Just really no pressure. Good screen by Cruz there. Meanwhile, it's a turnover for Ventura on the other end. 25-21. Brunk will come back into the ball game. She'll come on for Garcia. So it's Garcia, Root, Omi, Brunk, and Vint, along with Puga.
And I think Ned Mercedes here wants to get a little bigger lineup on the floor against some of these screens, get a little more length to challenge shots defensively, going back to Brunk.
Bizel working against Alyssa Root. Root's going to be whistled for a foul. This will be 2 shots coming to Bizel. The Pirates are in the penalty. Bizel with 4 points, looking for her 5th. She's making a 1-possession game right here with a make. She does 25-23. Puga going to bring it up. Crossover dribble in the lane, left-hand layup, no good, but she's fouled. This should be against Tanaka. And indeed, it will go against Dana, 5'4" sophomore from Granada Hills.
Yeah, Tanaka there doing the good job contesting the shot, but then drops the arm at the last second and picks up the foul. Sends Puga to the line.
Puga good on the first attempt. Well, Puga usually a pretty good outside shooter. She's been off the mark as of late. Sometimes all you need is to see one go in. Sometimes from the free throw line, get that rhythm, get that momentum, and for a shooter, you can only expect her to heat up. She makes on both 27-23. 3:45 to go in the first half. Tanaka over to Bizel. Bizel looking inside. This is going to go likely against Vint, working on Einmar.
Yeah, Einmar trying to establish position down low, and Vint with a hold.
You know, looking at the replay here, that's a tough call against Vint, because I thought she did a pretty good job of getting over with her feet and denying. That's exactly what you teach.
Yeah,
and what would Rasheed Wallace say? Ball don't lie, as Einmar misses on the first.
We do like to go with the wisdom of Rasheed.
He's a wise man. A fiery soul.
He's both.
Coach Mercedes doesn't like the call, and I think he had a point. Second free throw up and good for Einmar. Cuts it to 3, 27-24. Salazar will bring it up. Salazar last year, not as good of a handle. Martin, that's a double dribble or travel. Either way, it's a turnover.
Yeah, they get the matchup they want there as Tanaka picks up Martin on the drive. But Martin turns it over.
Chance here for College of the Kings to tie it up. Bizel will try from 3. That's good, and we're knotted up at 27-all with 3:13 to go in the second quarter.
Couple of threes here for Bizel in the second quarter.
The pressure just not there. Bizel, wide open look from up top. Omi with the ball, looking to hand off to Martin. She does. Martin looking to drive the baseline on Einmar. Working with 2 fouls. I'd like to see her go one-on-one. Step back jumper for Jazz Martin. 29-27.
Well, I think Martin knows that Einmar can't really challenge that shot playing with 2 fouls. She's got a little room and knocks it down.
Einmar working in the post, kicks it back out. Tanaka now with it up top. Looking for Cruz down low. Cruz, nice step through. Don't know about that call, but Cruz turns it over via the travel. Like she tried to go Sigma there. Yeah, maybe. Lifted up her pivot foot before.
Love to see the Pirates try to get something going to the basket. You got Bizel out there with 2 fouls, Einmar out there with 2 fouls, Janeth Cruz playing with 3 fouls right now.
Yeah.
So they're in some foul trouble. And Tanaka out there with 2 fouls as well.
Cruz does not come off. She's guarding Draper at the high post. It's a great screen off the ball there from Draper. That's Einmar. Einmar gets a hand on it. It's a block. Chance on this possession here for the Cougars to possibly take the lead. Bizel with a near side. Bizel enters in at the high post to Einmar. Einmar looking to reverse the ball, has Cruz down low, puts it on the floor, gets it. Well, that's going to be a travel.
You know, they entered into Einmar in the high post, but, Michael, nobody's cutting off the ball.
Yeah.
And I think that's the second part of that play that you really need to see.
Well, you see Sydney Jordan, Tanaka not doing anything on the weak side, and you're exactly right, Jeffrey. Puga brings it back out, wide open. Salazar for a triple, no. Draper battling up top. She wins an offensive rebound. Wide open, Celeste Salazar from 3. Yes!
Well, Salazar is feasting on those open types of plays where things are in a little bit of disarray here. You watch Draper keep this alive, and nobody picks up Salazar.
Yeah, she just spots up from 3 and
finds
buries
herself
the
wide
triple.
open.
Back out to a 5-point lead for the Pirates, 32-27.
You got to keep playing defense.
Bizel, speaking of which, wide open from 3. Omi late on her rotation. Luckily, that one's off the mark for the Cougars. Back the other way, here's Puga for the Pirates. Puga will spot up from 17. No good. That one off of Einmar. Nearly goes out of bounds. She saves it. Off to Tanaka. Tanaka going to bring it up ahead quickly. Under a minute to go in the second quarter. Tanaka will hold, keep it out front. Off to Sydney Jordan on the far side. She'll drive the baseline. That one in and out, rebounded by Draper.
That's a good move by Jordan. Just gets a little unlucky.
Salazar eludes a defender. Left-handed layup is good. Cruz can't do anything. Working with the 3 fouls, as you alluded to earlier, Jeffrey. 34-27, and the momentum shifts in favor of the Pirates as we head towards halftime. Einmar reverses near side. Bizel not ready to shoot. Instead, will elect to go to her left. Bank shot up, no good. Rebound tapped around like a pinball. Bizel finally the winner of it, and she'll put it up and in.
That's a break for College of the Canyons as the ball pinballs around and ends up back in the hands of Bizel after the Pirates had played pretty good defense on the initial possession.
Had to finish the possession defensively and grab that rebound. Puga on the dribble. Gives out to Martin. Martin.
Down to 3 seconds.
Here. 3 seconds to go, and Martin just a little lackadaisical with the ball. Turns it over. It's a travel called on Jazz Martin. So 2.4 seconds to go in the second quarter. Cruz will roll it into Tanaka. Tanaka will fire from about 30 feet. That one off the mark, and will go in at the half. 34-29. Pirates with a 5-point lead. You are watching coverage of the Ventura College Tournament of Champions, sponsored by the Kiwanis Club. Back in a moment. 34-29 at the half. Ventura with a 5-point lead, and it was a battle of number 24s in the first half. Celeste Salazar for Ventura with 11 points, and Morgan Bizel with 11 points as well. As they duked it out back and forth, and Salazar, we saw her hit a couple triples in transition. Thought she did a very good job of keeping at it, and you know what shooters are going to do? They're going to keep shooting, and Salazar did just that, not discouraged after a couple misses, and made a lot of plays happen in that first half.
Yeah, absolutely, and the Pirates spreading it around pretty well, and Salazar being very opportunistic. But I think for the Pirates, the first half, not enough urgency defensively, and I think not enough contesting of shots. And you think back to this team last year and the tenacity with which they play. They really got after you, and that was such a big part of their success. And in that first half, the Cougars, give them a lot of credit, executed well in their offensive sets and got some good looks. And the Pirates, not a lot of urgency contesting those shots, and it'll be interesting to see after the halftime break what kind of energy we see from the Pirates in the first stages of that third quarter, because I think they're going to get after it a little harder.
I have to imagine you were right, my friend. Ned Mercedes is very good out of halftime, and I can only imagine what type of urgency we will see on display at the start of the third quarter. But at the same time, going to the Canyons and your coach, Greg Herrick, you have to imagine that you're going to be ready for it.
Yeah, I think if you're College of the Canyons, you like where you are. You know, we're halfway through this one. We're in the game. We're exactly where we want to be. Yeah, expect them to come at us a little bit harder here early in the third quarter. But if you execute, maybe make some use of some backdoor cuts, some movement off the ball, you can actually have that work against them.
Yeah.
And I think you have to be prepared for that. That's a very good point, and it'll be interesting to see which team then comes out and is able to sort of enforce their plan for what the game is moving forward.
Well, the game plan for College of the Canyons is go inside to open up the outside. They did a very good job of that in the first half. Kalana Einmar, Jeanette Cruz. I thought Cruz, as I mentioned earlier, did a really good job of facilitating from the low post, reversing to wide open shooters who then in turn made their shots. But Einmar playing with 2 fouls, Cruz playing with 3 fouls. If you're Ventura, you have to know that you have to go at them here early third quarter, see if you can maybe force one to the bench early on. A couple minutes away from the start of the third quarter, you are watching coverage of the 20th annual Ventura College Tournament of Champions, sponsored by the Kiwanis Club here in Ventura. Start of the third quarter, 34-29. The Pirates with a 5-point lead had some momentum in their favor at the end of the first half after College of the Canyons had tied it up, I believe at 27-all. And they go on a 7-2 run to close out the second quarter. The arrow in favor of the Pirates, and they will start off here with the opening possession of the third quarter. Puga in the corner to Martin. Martin thought about the three. She'll step back from three and hit over Einmar.
And that's a shot that you really have to respect.
Now you also have to respect the athleticism. You'd probably rather her shoot that three, being that it's such a tough shot, especially not in rhythm. And Martin, we've talked about the talent. We see it right there. Martin now at 13.
And she's done it quietly.
She really has. O'Brien from three. She'll try to answer. That's wide left. Martin with a rebound. Martin will bring it up. Bit of a deliberate pace here for Jazz Martin. Einmar's going to stay out. She'll attack Einmar. Einmar with a block. And that battle won by Kalana Einmar. Working, as we said, with a couple fouls. And the correct play from Martin, I thought there, going right at Einmar. Einmar just better defense.
Yeah, she shows her the outside shot on the previous possession.
Cross screen in the post. They had Einmar for a second. Bizel instead goes up top to Tanaka. Bizel steps through. Right-handed layup is good. Morgan Bizel now with 13.
Yeah, Salazar with an overplay. And Bizel does a good job of taking advantage and driving to the basket to convert.
Not a bad idea trying to overplay and force her off the three-point line. We did see Bizel shoot and make a three in the first half. But at the same time, defensively, you have to rotate over quicker. We're going to have a short timeout called by Coach Ned Mercedes, and I think that's probably a point that he wants to discuss right now. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Coverage again tomorrow of the third-place game in the championship game, 2 and 4 o'clock respectively. You can go to this. You can watch this broadcast live on our YouTube channel. You can also watch the archived copy of it, SoCal College Sports 1 on YouTube. Got an Xbox, you got an Apple TV. You can upscale it to 1080p or even 4K. You can go to our website, www.socalcollegesports.com as well. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Storinoff with you here today and tomorrow, along with Matt Henson, Jorge Cepeda, the entire SoCalCollegeSports.com crew. Baseline out of bounds for Ventura. They enter into Puga. Puga to Vint. Vint right on the doorstep. She'll put it in from 5 feet.
Yeah, Cruz tries to make the steal on the entry pass, and then it's easy for Vint from there.
Back out to an 8-point lead for the Pirates. O'Brien over to Bizel. Bizel looking inside to Cruz. You have to give it to her. Cross screen motion. Back up top to O'Brien. O'Brien will reset back out to Tanaka. 12 on the shot clock. O'Brien tries to catch Martin off guard. Foul by Vint coming over.
And this is good recognition by O'Brien, making Martin work a little bit on the defensive end as well. Martin sloughing off just a little bit, giving O'Brien some room, and she catches her off guard there on the drive and gets the foul.
First free throw up and good for CC O'Brien. Second free throw, no good. Under 8 to go. Martin with a near turnover. Salazar saves it from going out of bounds. Puga's going to fire from deep on a broken play and bank one in. Not exactly how Coach Mercedes and company drew it up, but they'll take it out to a double-digit lead now for the Pirates. Einmar working on Vint. Over to Callie. Self reverses it to O'Brien. 9 on the shot clock. Tanaka fakes like she's going to shoot. Instead it gives off to Self. Self has her shot blocked by Vint. Back the other way for the Pirates. Here's Puga in transition. Spin move. Left-handed layup. A pretty one from Nikki Puga. Let's watch this play right here on the replay. Just great defense leading to transition offense. A nice move there from Puga on the replay.
Meanwhile, Einmer had a couple of looks point blank but couldn't get it to go. The Cougars were able to keep the ball.
Possession stays here. We have 4 substitutions on the floor for the Pirates. Garcia, Root, Omi, and Draper back into the ball game. Celeste Salazar will stay here, and we're going to have a technical foul going to go against Greg Herrick. So it's the third foul on South of the offensive variety. Alyssa Root will take the 2 technical foul shots. First one good. And so was the second. Oh, no. Wide right.
Well, it's a precarious point in this game for College of the Canyons. They've fallen behind by 13 and struggling somewhat to get something going offensively, but so much time remaining, 17 minutes. You certainly don't need to push the panic button.
You need to push the get some stops button defensively. Root will fire from deep. That's long. Draper fighting for the rebound along with Self. Pirates are going to win it. Timeout, Pirates.
Yeah, Self trying to hold off Martin off the offensive glass, and that's a tough assignment.
6:46 to go. We have a 30-second timeout. We'll take a short timeout ourselves. 13-point lead for the Pirates here in the third quarter. Baseline out of bounds for the Pirates out of the timeout. Omi with a nice move inside. Can't get it to go. Draper with a rebound. Gives off to Root. Root from three. No. In and out. Draper right there with a putback rebound. No. Rebound tapped around, won by the Cougars. Here comes Tanaka in transition. Tanaka off to O'Brien. Bizel now with it. Working against Garcia. Good active hands from Garcia. She'll tap it out of bounds. It'll stay here with the Cougars.
Well, contesting a lot better on the perimeter, and it's making it difficult for the Cougars to get into any kind of offensive set.
Einmar. I'd like to see her go to work from the outside on Draper. I think Einmar has a nice speed advantage. Nobody paying attention to the shot clock, including myself. It's a shot clock violation for the Cougars.
Yeah, but you don't have to know.
That's true. Timeout on the floor. I think this is called by the Cougars.
It is.
They will want to set up their full court pressure.
And I think Greg Herrick here just needs to settle his team down. The wheels have come off here a little bit in their early part of this third quarter and struggling at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, and this is something that we expected. We expected the energy level for the Pirates to come out at a heightened pace. And, well, simply the Cougars have not matched that thus far here in the third quarter. As you see Coach Mercedes coaching him up in the huddle.
It's an 11-3 run here in the third quarter for the Pirates to open up this lead.
Well, one team through to the state championship for football. Fullerton a winner today, a big winner over Riverside, 75-16. Right now, it's American River and College of San Mateo duking it out. See who's going to represent the North up in Sacramento on December 9th. And right now in the fourth quarter, 24-21, San Mateo with a lead. Meanwhile, it's the Pirates with a 13-point lead on top of College of the Canyons. Root from three. Off the mark, rebounded with authority by Callie Self. Tanaka will bring it up. Haven't really heard much from her from the outside, so the defensive adjustment has been made. Step back three from Bizel. That's off the mark. Self with a rebound. Omi straight up, but she'll be whistled for a foul. As we watch the replay on our monitor here, Stoy, I thought Omi did a pretty good job of going straight up, but I'm going to say that she initiated contact forward into the body of Self. She drew the foul. First free throw up and good.
Yeah, it's kind of a cagey play by Self, who goes a little bit of the way toward creating that contact, but when you're down low and you just got an offensive rebound, that's a call you're going to get more often than not if you can generate that kind of contact.
Cuts the lead to 12 after the made free throw. Jazz Martin back into the ball game. There's Coach Robin Hester. Second free throw up and good. Cuts it to 11. Well, as you said, Jeffrey, plenty of time remaining in this one. 5:17 to go in the third quarter. But the Pirates in control. Puga off to Martin in the weave. She'll try to put a shot up. She's fouled. That's just a savvy play there by Jazz Martin.
Yeah, double clutch there and able to draw the contact and get herself to the line.
Well, in watching Jazz Martin a little bit, she reminds me a little bit of Katie Campbell and Sienna Brown. Or I'm sorry, Kylisha Green. Kylisha Green and Katie Campbell, two players that moved on to four-year schools last season. Katie Campbell now at Gonzaga. First free throw up and good from Jazz Martin. Second
one out
one,
of
no
two.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see a little bit of that athleticism of a Kylisha Green. And she's knocked down a couple of triples, too. Which puts one in mind of Katie Campbell.
It does. Martin, meanwhile, with it, into the lane, shot up, no good. Fights for her own rebound. She wins it, gives it back to Vint. Vint puts it up, no good. Del Castillo flies in for the offensive board. She'll go up with it, is fouled. 2 shots coming to Davina.
Well, we're talking about the urgency defensively here in the third quarter, but really it's the urgency on the offensive glass that's really made the difference. And right now, the Cougars appear to just be worn down by the pace.
Agreed. You see Davina just so good on the boards. No shocker there.
Yeah, Coach Greg Herrick doesn't have the luxury of a hugely deep bench.
Castillo misses on the second. Martin with the rebound, up to Vint. Vint lays it up and lays it in. Good active hands from Kylie Vint.
Another loose ball won by the Pirates. And 5 Pirates wait at the scorer's table. And Coach Ned Mercedes does have the luxury of a very deep bench.
And he usually does. Einmar, spin move into the middle, kicks it back outside, wide open.
Well, that was one of the first times in this third quarter that the Cougars were able to get a little inside-out offense for a good look.
Martin from 15, that's no good. Vint working for the rebound. Are they going to call a foul on Self?
Yeah, Vint and Einmer with a collision.
Yeah, they're going to call Vint on the foul. That's a tough call. I thought that was a good two-way contact, and luckily Einmar not injured on the play as Vint fell into her knee accidentally.
Well, I think if you're Greg Herrick on the sideline for the Cougars, you got to be talking about 5 blue jerseys in the paint rebounding defensively.
Yeah, if anything, if anything, the calls are going in favor of the Pirates just because they're so much more active. They're getting the benefit of the calls. I mean, they are playing at home as well, but Herrick already with a technical tonight. Into the ear of an official on the far side right now. They enter inside to Einmar. Einmar turns and faces, kicks it back out. This is Oriana. Oriana, another shot clock violation again. Terrific defense from the Pirates in the half court.
Well, they entered it down low to Einmer, and they quickly converged on her with a triple team, but then they were able to still get outside and contest at the three-point line.
Is fouled, the 15th foul, and I believe that will be shots coming to Alana Garcia.
Are they going to have Garcia? I think.
Yeah, 15th foul, this should be a penalty.
And it is. I knew you were right.
Well, I have a good knack, whether it be basketball or bowling. Calling it before it happens. First free throw up, no good for Garcia.
In bowling?
Yeah, and whether it's going to be a strike.
Let me just tell you, the secret with me, I only get strikes on the Brooklyn side. So just be aware of that if we bowl. Only Brooklyn strikes for me.
It's been a while, my friend. I know that. Foul going to go against Alyssa Root.
I enjoy bowling because I know that if I'm bowling, there's a Pop-A-Shot nearby. I'm going to get in some Pop-A-Shot too.
Basketball always on the brain with you, my friend. That's Stratomatic. Steal here for Jazz Martin. Martin back the other way. 1-on-2. Forget about it. She misses, but she gets her own rebound. Into the lane. She has it stolen by Callie Self. Self in transition. Einmar. Del Castillo with a block on the other end. Out of bounds or foul?
Looks like they're
wow. Let's see the replay here, Maddie.
Looks like there's going to say this is a clean block. Well, no, they are going to call the foul.
No, they call the foul.
Nonetheless, it's a big energy play by Del Castillo to not give up the easy hoop and get back there and make Eimer earn it from the line.
Technical foul called on the Pirates. Is this going to go against Coach Ned?
He saw something he didn't really like. And the teams trade technicals here in the third. Well, if the Pirates can hold on here, what do you think against Mount San Antonio College tomorrow from what you're looking at? What's the good news for Pirate fans here, and what might be a concern?
Well, I like how the Pirates can stay fresh with the wholesale substitutions that they have at their disposal. I think talent-wise, they have the talent to battle against Mount Sac, and I also like the fact that they have a lot of size to battle up against John A. Vermillion and the forwards at the disposal for Coach Critchlow for Mount San Antonio College. The only problem is I don't know how well they handle pressure, because I think the turnover number is a little higher than Coach Mercedes would like. Of course, if it's anything other than 0, that's higher than he would like. So.
Yeah. Well, they have good size as a team this year. And I think you need that length against the Mounties.
It's going to be an interesting battle, that's for sure. Should they hold on and win? Still about 13 minutes away from that one. Martin into the lane, shot up, no good, but she's fouled. There was contact from Self, and I think that's Self's fourth. And indeed, it does go against Callie. Martin looking for her 15th point. Misses on the first. And the Pirates are going to, they're going to know what they're up against tomorrow. I expect them to come out not as flat as they were earlier tonight in the first half. They seem to get their feet under them at the beginning. Well, midway through that second quarter, and obviously came out with a flurry here at the beginning of the third. Garcia with the steal. It's just going to be a charge. And indeed, it will go against Elena Garcia.
Nice job by Callie Self out there with 4 fouls. And I think it's a good call. But that was a risky play for Callie Self. Takes the charge.
Einmar, turnover. Salazar right there. Jeff, I had a conversation earlier with Robin Hester, and he talked about how well defensively Celeste Salazar has been playing. She's got really good length. She can disrupt opposing players.
Yeah, and on that last possession, it's a good example because she didn't go to sleep defensively on the entry pass to Einmer, but stayed in that passing lane and ended up with the steal.
Cleans up the garbage right here. Gives off to Root. It's a turnover. Bad pass from Celeste. Back the other way. Here's Sydney Jordan. Jordan, great job by Root going straight up. Jordan with a better finish. She finishes.
Yeah, soft touch for Jordan.
Garcia just missed from 3. Kicks it back out to Salazar to Omi near side. Here's Root. Root, instead of getting a stream from Draper, kicks it out to Omi. Long 2. No good. Root fighting for a rebound. Self wins it. She's fouled by Talitha Draper. Both teams in the penalty.
Well, you're in the penalty and you commit a foul 90 feet away from your basket. And that just allows the Cougars to put points on the board with no time coming off the clock.
5 substitutions waiting at the scorer's table. Looks like much of the starting 5, with the exception of Avery Brunk. Salazar will come off. First free throw, no good for Cali South. 12-point lead for the Pirates, 1:33 to go here in the third quarter. SoCalCollegeSports.com's coverage of 3C2A women's basketball. Remember, Ventura College, the site of this year's state championships later in March. Second free throw up and good.
Are we staying at the Crown Point Plaza again for that one?
Crown Plaza. I think it's Crown Plaza, Ventura Beach.
Crown Plaza, Ventura Beach. That's right. I have to say it about 100 times and then I know it.
That's okay. It's early in the season. So.
Yeah, it is.
Puga with an outside dribbling. She's fouled by Jordan. That's a simple reach there from Sydney. Needs to be a little smarter in the penalty again. So 2 free throws. So we're just going to trade free throws back and forth until we're done with the third quarter. Going into tomorrow, you probably give the edge to the defending state champs, 2-time defending state champion Mount Sac Mounties. But at the same time, you know, if you're Ventura, if you can get some of your shooters to start to get going. We've seen Salazar tonight, but you get Nikki Puga firing from deep. She's had a bit of a cold stretch to open this season. Maybe Elena Garcia from outside as well. And you get some good energetic play and effective play from your bigs. It's going to be a closely contested battle. Einmar inside. Einmar's a good test for what you're going to see. She travels right there. And she's not been the same player ever since she was decked in the knees by Kylie Vint earlier. Obviously that was accidental, but...
Yeah, and Mike, they're really collapsing defensively as soon as Einmar touches the ball.
Yeah. And Einmar's not reacting as well as you would like. John A. Vermillion will not have that problem tomorrow. Easy layup for Puga.
And working around the high screen from Vint.
Yeah. John A. Vermillion, a little bit of Moses in her. Little Moses Malone.
Yep.
I think Coach Critchlow would agree. Don't know if he's watching right now. I hope he is. Shut up, no good. This is going to be an offensive foul. This is going to go against Sydney Jordan on the clear out. About a 9-second differential on the shot clock and the game clock. I think we have the Will Cowan cam coming up between quarters. Great cut by Davina. Scoop shot, no good. Martin to the boards. Vint with a rebound. Pirates with another possession. 14 seconds to go. Puga from 3. It's a long 2. Check that. Jordan, 5 seconds on the game clock. Tapped out of bounds as we see the replay here. Puga.
And better job by Vint defensively, not allowing Einmar to get the same kind of position down low. The spacing a problem, and it ends up that they're able to knock it out of bounds. As Del Castillo has to steal down the quarter.
So we go into the fourth. Pirates up 16 in full control here. 56-40. Back in a moment. The final quarter of play. Semifinal number 2 on the day here on SoCal College Sports. The usual suspects at the scorers table for Ventura College: Will Cowan, Rick Ruffinelli, PA announcer.
Didn't get the Hawk this weekend, but we love when Rick's here.
Any Joe Curley? Haven't seen him either. Root from 3. Good feet. Can't get that one to go. And Elisa, another player of note, and to mention, that pass going to nobody. Tanaka throws it out of bounds. It's another turnover for College of the Canyons. And we continue to get closer to a showdown of last year's rematch in the state semifinals between Ventura College and Mount San Antonio. Both teams trading turnovers here in the fourth quarter. Sanchez from 3, it's short. Salazar with a rebound. She'll take it up. Salazar going to slow it up. Gives off to Root. Root looking inside for Draper. No, she's going to get a pick. Root turns a corner. Left-handed scoop shot. No, it's tapped out of bounds. It'll stay here. Tanaka with a block.
Good hands by Tanaka on the help.
Substitutions here for the Pirates. It's a new 5. Martin, Puga, Brunk, Del Castillo, and Vint.
You wonder at what point is that a little bit demoralizing when you see an entire new team coming in every couple of minutes.
A great cut to the basket by Castillo and Vint. Not a clean exchange between Martin and Del Castillo. Pirates will reset. Here's Puga. Nearly lost it. Right-handed layup is good.
Well, Puga has the good range from outside, and she's able to take advantage of that. Has been far more effective on the drive so far tonight.
It was a left-handed layup, excuse me. Short change, Puga.
Largest lead for the Pirates.
The lead is swelled to 18 for Ventura, 58-40, 8:33 to go. Well, Jeff, you asked me the question, how do you think they match up tomorrow?
Well, I think rebounding is going to be the key. Both teams obviously really rely on second chance points.
It's a good find from Einmar to Bizel.
I think that's going to be your key number. Both teams should have pretty good success, at least bothering the other team defensively somewhat.
Bizel with a block. Sparks some transition offense here. Tanaka with a left hand off the mark. O'Brien with a rebound. In amongst the trees. Kicks it back out to Bizel. That's short from 3. Del Castillo with a rebound. Back the other way for Ventura. Back out to an 18-point lead.
And Einmar having to start her move from so much further away on that possession, but does a good job working down low, and ultimately, see when she turns around here, she's about a good 10 to 12 feet out.
Yeah.
And that's Vint battling for that position a little more aggressively, and it puts a lot of pressure on Einmar to make something happen. And there she is able to do it, but she's had a much more quiet second half.
Einmar good on the first. And another set of live bodies here for the Pirates. A fresh 5.
Well, what's interesting here is that it's a lot of changes, but you don't see Ned Mercetic really doing a lot of experimenting with combinations here. It looks like he's staying with 1 5 and then another 5. And sometimes early in the season, you expect him to be mixing and matching here a little bit to find out what's working.
Root loses the ball. Bizel with a steal. Foul by Omi. 3rd team foul on the Pirates, and Root and Omi clap it up, say, hey, my bad. And that ball just exposed a little bit too much by Root. Sanchez over to Einmar. O'Brien back to Sanchez from 3. Short. I will say the Pirates have done a pretty good job of being one and done here. Defensively. Don't know if it'll be like that tomorrow. Draper battling for position, comes out, trying to set a screen for Salazar. Salazar instead along the baseline. 3 from Root. Long. Omi battling Bizel. Bizel taps it to Tanaka. Cougars back the other way with it. Good entry pass. Einmar. Easy money. Draper's got to be a little better defensively earlier on in that possession. Here comes a new set of substitutions for the Pirates. Likely won't see this tomorrow. I think this is a product of wanting to keep fresh bodies for the final of your own tournament. Root off the mark on the layup attempt. Tanaka back the other way. 1-on-2. Tanaka, layup up, no good, but she's fouled. Fouled by Garcia.
Well, Tanaka goes 1-on-2 there and is able to get out of it with a couple of free throw attempts coming.
That's an example of a layup, essentially, or a missed layup rather, by Root, resulting in a turnover the other way. Tanaka good on the first. That's her 7th point. Been quiet since the opening quarter. And here comes much of that starting unit, the exception of Celeste Salazar. So Coach Merceda keeping Salazar with the second group, subbing out with Brunk. Second free throw up and good. 12-point deficit for the Cougars.
Yeah, quietly it's an 8-1 run for the Cougars.
It is. And Puga.
Number 3 on Bizel.
Fouled by Bizel. Bizel reaching in there. First team foul on the Cougars. Cougars playing it pretty clean here. Good screen from Vint to set up Puga on the inbounds play. Puga all the way to the rack. Some contact there. Shot up no good. Vint put back is good. So Kylie Vint very active on that possession. Gets it back out to a 14-point lead for the Pirates. Einmar on the other end going right at Vint, and she's fouled.
Well, the Pirates are really feasting on the offensive glass here in the second half, and that's been the difference.
Personal foul number 4 on Kylie Vint. Early in the season, obviously the conditioning not there for Kylie. See her hands on the knees right now. That was a popular stance for me back in my playing days.
What, the hands on the knees?
Yeah. Coaches weren't very fond of that.
It's a timeless classic.
Puga back the other way. Will initiate the offense to Martin. Martin to Del Castillo from 3 from the top, off the mark. Like to see the Pirates kill a little bit more clock there. Instead, it's back the other way for the Cougars. They go inside of Einmar, guarded by Del Castillo. Kick out, wide open Bizel from 3, off the back iron. Rebounded by Brunk off to Del Castillo. Del Castillo one-on-one with Tanaka. She's going to feast all day. Tanaka reaches in, taps it out of bounds. It will stay here with the Pirates as we have 5 new fresh bodies for Ventura. Enter into Draper. Draper on the baseline working on self, and that's a pretty good post move there from Draper. Just can't get the finish to go. O'Brien brings it into the front court. Tanaka wide open from 3. They get away with one there.
Just didn't quite have her feet underneath her.
No.
To take that shot.
Yeah, Root. Lucky that Tanaka didn't have her feet because Tanaka was lights out in that first quarter. I think Tanaka may be surprised that she was as wide open as she was. That ever happen to you?
Well, yeah. Actually, that doesn't happen to me because the smart move on the basketball court is to leave me wide open.
O'Brien into the lane. Gives off to Self from 15. That's off the mark. Right now, the Cougars just can't make shots.
Yeah, they've had some good looks the last few times down. Better offensive sets.
Omi to the basket. She's fouled by Self, and that'll do it for Callie Self, her 5th.
This is good recognition by Melissa Omi. Getting the ball in a position to shoot. Good hard drive, forces the foul.
You're up 13 right now. Omi with a chance to make it 15 here, but not exactly thrilled if you're Coach Ned Mercedes. It's been a little sloppy here in the 4th. Dueling turnovers from both teams. College of the Canyons unable to hit shots, wide open shots.
Well, yeah, I got to tell you, I think you're on to it, Mike, which is I think if anything's bothering Ned Mercedes in this 4th quarter, it's the open shots that they gave up in the last few minutes when the team had really dialed in defensively for much of the second half before then.
First free throw up and good from Melissa. Yeah, if anything, we saw Deja Siaki be very effective from long range in their win over San Joaquin Delta for the Mounties. So obviously that's a player of note that you want to keep an eye on from long distance. McLaughlin also with the ability to knock down the long range jumper.
Yeah, and the Pirates have been very effective in loose ball situations, in transition, getting open shots, and that'll be a little more difficult tomorrow.
Absolutely.
With the opponent of Mount San Antonio College.
Einmar in the lane. Got to be careful for the 3 seconds. Great move inside, unable to get it to go. It was Elias. Back the other way. Here's Martin. Martin keeps it herself. Layup up, no good. Oh, is that Vint with a foul? Kylie Vint. That'll be her 5th. Del Castillo will come on for Kylie.
Well, in
minute mark.
And for Vint in that situation, you're in the penalty, and you commit the foul in the backcourt, and it's number 5 to boot. And obviously, you have to imagine there's going to be something of a teaching point there, I think, for Ned Mercedes. Well, I don't have a trivia question graphic for you on the last few minutes, but I got an interesting question that I think you might have fun answering, and that is since 1980, so there'll be quite a few here. How many players do you think you can name who led the Clippers in scoring for a season? It's gonna be a pretty high number, but how many of that total population do you think you can get? I got to tell you, if you're going to start firing off some answers, I got to have a pencil ready so we don't lose track. But
George Gervin, one of them?
No, Gervin never played for the Clippers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Really?
No, Gervin only played for the Spurs and the Bulls in his career, if memory serves. He really spent pretty much his whole career with the Spurs.
I'm thinking about a game that he played the Clippers in San Diego where he went off for like 40. Not playing for the Clippers.
How is that different than most games in his career?
That's true.
40 points, 24 of them came on finger rolls, and to go with a couple of rebounds and a couple of assists.
Okay, Michael Cage.
Cage is an interesting one. I don't know that he ever led.
Definitely led him in rebounding.
Yeah. And
Charles Smith? No. Danny Manning?
I don't think Danny Manning.
Ron Harper?
Boy, that was close. Harper definitely did one year. That's got to be right. I noticed you're starting old school.
Yeah.
Well, I'll throw one in there for you. When you give me one, I'll throw one. Derek Smith.
Okay.
1 year led them.
We'll get back to that. Puga with it. Kicks it into the corner. Del Castillo had her feet ready. That's off the mark. Jordan's fouled by Avery Brunk, her 3rd.
Yeah. Jordan does a good job boxing out there for the rebound, and Brunk just over the back there with the contact on the rebound, and not what you want to see. 3:19 remaining, and you're up 13.
Now check that 4th foul on Avery.
But it reminds me of something that we talked about with Steve Mushagian this year with the Ventura College Pirate football team, and they were one of the more penalized teams in the SCFA. But, Steve Mushagian more or less shrugged his shoulders and said, we're an aggressive team. So we have to live with that a little bit, and that's how we are. And obviously, if you're Ned Mercedes, you're trying to ramp up your players here and get a little more urgency. And one of the things that you might see as a result of that are some more fouls that you're going to pick up as you're asking your players to go harder on the defensive end and in terms of rebounding.
Second free throw, no good. 64-51, 3:15 to go. Puga will bring it up. It's Puga, Martin, Del Castillo, Celeste Salazar, Elena Garcia on the floor for the Pirates. Might we see them the rest of the way? Here to close the show. Step back for Garcia. Three is good. Well, that's slamming the door shut if you're Elena Garcia.
I'm going to say Garcia on the hold there, working against Jordan.
I love the step back there from Elena. Jordan, another couple free throws coming her way. Well, it's back to the trivia question. Who since 1980, who led the scores?
Well, just name a player that led the team in
led
scoring.
The Clippers in scoring. Elton Brand.
Brand for sure. I will give you, it occurs to me now that Cage, when he had his career scoring average for the Clippers in the season when they won only 12 games in '87, I believe Mike Woodson led the team in scoring that year.
Never would have gotten that.
No, that's a tough one. Leave that for, a true 80s nerd like myself.
Puga with a crossover dribble. Pretty good defense from Sydney Jordan as Puga has to bring it back out.
Well, now the Pirates are content to work a little clock.
Puga back to the middle, left-hander, no good. Del Castillo right there for the rebound. It's tapped around and won by the Cougars. Tanaka up ahead to Bizel, and Bizel's going to lay it up and lay it in.
Well, if you're wondering why the Pirates have had so much success on the offensive glass, you need look no further than this last play. Only a couple of blue jerseys underneath, and it does open up the 3-on-1 if you can get the rebound. Bizel ahead of the field and able to lay it in, but the Cougars have paid a high price
for that
strategy.
Transition layup.
Yeah.
67-54 as the clock trickles down here in the fourth quarter. 2:13 to go. Winner of this game will play Mount Sac in the final tomorrow. The loser will play San Joaquin Delta, and Delta showed very well in the fourth quarter, coming back from a deficit as big as 19 points to make that close in the final minutes.
Yeah, furious fourth quarter comeback, and obviously Delta preseason rankings the top team in the North, coming off a 25-win season last year. So a formidable foe. And just ran out of time against a team that is once again an enormous favorite to be here at Ventura in March. Once again in Mount San Antonio College.
The third place game and the final tomorrow, 2 and 4 o'clock. See Rihanna Dugan in the crowd, upper left. I believe Rihanna Dugan now at Hope International. Hope International recruiting, perhaps, in the building. Under 2 to go. The Pirates essentially playing four corners here. Martin has that one blocked again by Einmar. Back to Del Castillo from 15. That one just barely hits the rim. Tanaka with a rebound. Cougars back with it the other way. Active hands from Puga. Steal by Salazar. Well, if it wasn't already in the books, that should seal it. Garcia drives the lane. Scoop shot up, no good. Einmar comes down with the hands, comes down with a rebound. Kicks it out to Tanaka. Tanaka holding at the top, gives off to Jordan. Jordan dragged the pivot foot. Should we whistle for travel? Well, Jeffrey, a big slate of coverage for us next weekend as we travel up to Sacramento. American River hosting the soccer championships Friday and Sunday, and Solano hosting the women's volleyball championships on Saturday and Sunday. And we will have coverage of all of the games. I believe
we're going to be everywhere.
I believe it's 6 games of coverage on Saturday for women's volleyball, 4 games of coverage on Friday, and then the final for men's and women's 2 games for soccer up at ARC, and then Solano hosting the final on Sunday early afternoon. And it'll be us plus a few more hands on deck for the state championships in the 3C2A. Shout out to George Matagakis, Mike Robles, Carlisle Carter. And then December 9th, we will have the football championship. Still awaiting a final score in that one.
Not much drama in the SCFA championship.
No, SCFA championship.
But a little drama in the NCFA championship.
Well, there's more drama in the SCFA semifinals, as Fulton had to come back in that one versus Saddleback. But, yeah, no doubt about it today versus Riverside, 75-16, that one at Whittier College. And we get a final, and a missed field goal gives College of San Mateo the win. So the bracket is set for the 3C2A football championship. It'll be College of San Mateo and Fullerton. Meanwhile, coming up on the 1-minute mark to play here in the first quarter, 67-54. This one all but over. You'll see the Pirates in action tomorrow at 4 p.m. Tentatively scheduled for 4 p.m.
Oh, great cut off the ball by Salazar, and good find.
Unable to finish. She gets the rebound, puts it back up and in. And Celeste Salazar now with 13 points. Bizel back the other way with a quick finish. Answers for the Cougars. The Pirates in action tomorrow versus Mount Sac in the championship of the Tournament of Champions here at Ventura College. 20th year they've hosted. Hosted by, or sponsored by, the Kiwanis Club. Martin with the finish. That's going to be one heck of a matchup tomorrow. Martin versus McLaughlin. Travel. See if we can get some notes for you. There's Alyssa Root, Robin Hester,
well, I expect to see, it'll be interesting to see how they match up with Martin, but I actually expect to see My Joy Adams quite a bit on Martin.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, but no doubt they'll try to shake things up, both teams, and get some different matchups if they can.
Well, let's see if Martin can match the energy level of My Joy Adams tomorrow in the final. Your final here in semifinal number 2, 71-56. Back in a moment with a quick wrap-up and preview for tomorrow night's games. Well, it's a wrap. 71-56. Ventura through to the final of the Tournament of Champions here from Ventura College. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoynoff with you on tonight's coverage. A special thanks to Matt Henson on graphics and technical direction. And Jeffrey, an impressive performance from the Pirates. I thought they came out with the sense of urgency that they needed to secure the win in the second half.
Yeah, a gritty performance tonight. Maybe not at their sharpest for the full 40 minutes. But ultimately, in a long season, you need some performances like that, and you need to take care of business in games that you should win and find a way to win. And I think to the Pirates' definite credit, they were never really in jeopardy here. They were in the lead. It was maybe a little closer than it needed to be at points, but then they were able to turn it on, ratchet up the intensity, and take a more sizable lead, and then really cruise to the finish. So, yes, I think there are some teaching points. There are some things that Ned Mercedes can work on off of this performance. But ultimately, they were in control and ended up with the victory, and that's where you want to be. And I think tomorrow is the big one. I think for the Pirates early in the season to get a sense of where they are, and they'll step up in the level of competition here and see where they are heading into conference play.
Yeah, cruise control won't be a luxury tomorrow versus Mount Sac in the final at 4 p.m. on Sunday. But Jeff, I have to say that the big matchup tomorrow is going to be Del Castillo and Vermillion in the middle.
Yeah.
Whoever wins that battle is going to set the tone, and obviously Davina has to do a good job of staying out of foul trouble and staying in front of John A. Vermillion. But Vermillion is just so good in the low post at using her body and the physical talent that she has to her advantage.
Yeah, the key to Vermillion is not just her ability to score, but you cannot allow her to get offensive rebounds and create second chance points, because that's where they end up working it outside, and that's where Siaki and McLaughlin, they can then knock down three-point shots with second chance opportunities in that sort of transition mode where people are trying to scramble back on defense, and that's where a team like Mount San Antonio College can get you into so much trouble. So really, you got to defend Vermillion, yes, but you absolutely have to keep her off the offensive glass and limit those second chance opportunities.
Yeah, and the shots that were missed tonight by College of the Canyons likely going to go in tomorrow on those second chance opportunities, and losing a shooter in transition, obviously something to be worried about tomorrow in the final. Two games tomorrow on the slate. We will have San Joaquin Delta versus College of the Canyons, 2 o'clock. Stay tuned to the website, www.socalcollegesports.com. Also on our YouTube channel, you can catch us there, SoCal College Sports 1. Feel free to subscribe. And, of course, the final slated for a 4 p.m. start time here in the Tournament of Champions. That'll do it. Wrap up our coverage here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Again, special thanks to Will Cowan, Athletic Director here at Ventura College, Ned Mercedes, Robin Hester, Jorge Cepeda, Matt Henson, and for Jeffrey Stoynoff, I'm Mike Cepeda signing off. We'll see you tomorrow, too.